Legit Talk 2, what's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike L. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. It is September 18th, 2022. I tried to do this earlier on the football show. All I got was 9 into 18 is 2. Then there's another 2. I don't know, at least a bunch of 4s. I get nothing for the math geeks. Joining me as always, Buddy Money there. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, Mike. How you doing?
I'm bald.
Quite the Sunday it is, huh? Quite the Sunday.
I know. Well, I got Lawrence Taylor looking over my shoulder. I'm sorry. 2-0, baby. 2-0. New York Giants, go Big Blue. Sorry.
Such a great comeback. Such a great football game.
Oh, man. Anyway, so check this out, right? I'm going to let my hair grow in, and then I want to see exactly where I have black hair and where I have white hair, right? Because I'm afraid that I'm going to look like a super villain. I'm deadly afraid of that because that's going to be bad. I mean, I already look like one now.
Right.
You know? But if the hair comes in white, I'm going to look even worse. But, you know, as they say, as they do, as they go. Let me tell you something. Here's a guy who's just happy to get one win. Just get one win. Joining us as always, Joey Paradicho. What's going on, Joey?
I mean, I'm happy because in the last 20 years, I've watched 6 Super Bowls. So, I mean, I don't care how this season goes. I'm just happy to be here. So,
my lifetime, I've seen 4. And twice, I've seen my team beat your team.
Yeah.
In such an improbable way. It was magical.
Hey, man, I'm glad the team that I've rooted for my whole life could have given you a little bit of happiness as well. Because that's what I'm all about, is just spreading the happiness.
I grew up in a time when that's all they had was Patriots winning, and a bunch of pink hats walking around.
Yeah.
You don't even know what it's like to have the old Patriot on your hat and go to games in the rain, sitting on those goddamn bleachers they used to have. And those are the worst games you've ever seen in your life. Joe, you never went through that. So don't talk to me about that. You never felt the pain. But it's coming.
Oh, I'm about to. I mean, I'm not jaded. I know what's in store. It was still a good win today. I don't care. I mean, I don't want to get into it. There was some drives that made me want to throw my head against the wall.
Joe, 2-0. There's 2 guys up here.
Oh, please give me 2-0 with those 2 wins. Those were hollow wins.
2-0.
Those were hollow
wins. Take with your microphone, but that's your mic.
You beat Baker Mayfield with the Carolina Panthers. If you want a pat on the back, I'm not the one giving it to you. You want someone who can gloat.
And last week we beat the AFC East Championship team. Buddy, go ahead.
2-0. Okay. This evening I picked for a beer. Our guest is from Massachusetts, and so many good beers come from Massachusetts. But a great beer that comes to mind this time of year for me, right out of Massachusetts. It's none other than Sam Adams. He can be found in almost every liquor store in the New England area. Sam Adams Oktoberfest. It's a 5.3. It's so easy to drink. It's so delicious on a cool fall evening. Like our guest tonight, that's coming from Massachusetts. He's I call him the Wizard of watercolor. I doubt anyone else calls him that. He's a local artist.
You think he wants you to call him that?
I doubt it, Mike. It's terrible. I just popped it into a post. He's an amazing artist. I started first seeing this guy at paranormal conventions. Probably in the last 10 years, he first caught my eye with like an Edgar Allan Poe. I did end up buying this one a few years back. This is Stephen King. This is all the towns.
Oh, that's sick.
He does stuff like that. He's an incredible artist. Also a special ed teacher out on the Cape. Please welcome Aaron Wujcik.
What's going on, Aaron?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. Cheers.
Oh,
cheers.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a good one.
2 roads.
Uh-oh. Got a wicked head on it.
Uh-oh.
It's got a wicked head on it, as they say in Boston. All right.
I've been a big fan of this IPA recently called Love and Wrestling. Have you guys heard of it?
No,
I have. I had that.
So good.
I might have to go find those.
It's like 8. It's like the ABV is like 8 or 9 or something.
It is. Yeah.
The name alone makes me want to drink it.
Yeah.
Therefore,
watch it
Paranormal
every Monday, every Tuesday, whenever there's wrestling, like all day, every day of the week.
I'm a wrestling geek myself, so I know so is Joey. But what I'm saying is, Legit Paranormal Brew, buddy, would sell just as well, if not better. Once we could advertise it on every goddamn show we do.
Mike,
Right.
the only issue is we need to actually have the brew to put in the can of paranormal brew.
Joe, the question I have is, when did you get so chatty?
Listen, it could be empty.
So
it's a ghost, right? You know,
yeah.
paranormal. It could be just
So,
an empty can.
That's actually that's a great idea. That really is. I'm like, where's the beer? Well, it's paranormal, so sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Sometimes they get served, sometimes they don't. It depends. We get some. We got one of those those noise boxes. What are they called?
Spirit box. Yeah, it's
Spirit box, right. Hey, so Aaron, you started before we even get into like you starting painting and all the interesting parts about that. You were drawn to drawing, I guess, more paranormal type pictures, and is that what brought you into this paranormal, and I say, world?
Yeah, I when I first started drawing since I was a kid, and then when I had a kid, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start like on top of the sketches I draw. I'm gonna draw watercolor and see what that happens, because he brings home the watercolors and like, oh, we'll try that. And then I'm like, I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the way it looked. As far as like my attachment to the paranormal, I've always watched scary movies, sci-fi movies, horror movies when I was a kid. Like my folks took me to see Alien in the movie theater.
Nice.
I saw.
It's a great movie.
What else? Oh God, I don't remember much, but yeah, I've always been drawn to that kind of stuff. And when I started doing conventions and fairs and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I've done like the local, farmers market and this like that, but I don't like it. I was looking for something else, and then I started to do like comic conventions, but I wanted more. I wanted diversity, so I'm like, you know what? How about horror conventions? How about paranormal conventions?
You narrowing that shit down.
Paranormal conventions is that you have people who go to the farmers markets. They like that kind of stuff. People who go to the Comic-Con, so they like that kind of stuff. So you have a kind of diverse group of people at the paranormal convention, so it can showcase like all my different kinds of things.
I think diverse is a really nice way of putting that one. You do meet a diverse group of people. Let me ask you this: do they get into you like with that what you believe in? Do you find yourself getting your brain picked more than you are talking about paint sometimes?
Well, I surround myself with people who like I can talk to. So I'm not gonna be afraid to tell somebody like an unexplainable experience that I've had. I'll tell them because it was real to me. And a lot of people are like that, where they're just
you're more open. You're more of an open person.
I went to the first convention that really opened my brain was in Leominster. It was the Greater New England UFO convention back, I don't know, years ago. And they had people talking about dimensions, aliens, ghosts, past lives. It was a Bigfoot, everything. It was just amazing to hear all these different ideas, and I was just like blown away. And I ever since then, I was just like opened my mind to it. I started slowing things down and seeing all the connections around me, and like how everything is just connected, and it's just amazing. And I've started to feel things, energies and whatnot, and it's crazy.
That's from being open, and the thing about conventions that I wasn't ready for, a victory cigar, wasn't ready for that, but I also wasn't ready for how many questions I was asked, because I don't usually give my opinion. I usually ask the questions, so it was a little odd, I mean, and I probably wouldn't have had to answer any questions if Buddy didn't leave me for like 3 hours out of the 4 hours that we were there. He had to run to his truck, Aaron, and he just never came back. Never did. And I had to field all these questions about stuff.
It's taught to, Mike.
No one wanted. So Aaron, here's my biggest issue. So I've been, oddly enough, trying to put stuff together in my head from the last couple of years of doing this show, like the different ghosts, cryptids, whatever you want to call it. And I've been working on this whole positive, negative, everything's going to have a flip side type theory. I guess I have a problem with ghost hunting because there's so many different types of ghosts from what I hear. And a lot of them have like attached reasons or whatever, So I guess unless you're trying to get a ghost out of the house, right? Which is, to me, I thought it was an exorcism. You're not really hunting. And I think that term is a rough term. I think it's more almost church-like. And why I say that is because I've noticed that people go out on these ghost, I'll call them adventures. And it's more about the group being together and the experiences that they have as they do this together.
Yeah, you're investigating.
Community.
That's
right.
So you're investigating it.
Yes.
You can call it whatever you want, but you're learning, you're trying to find answers, and
it's a personal thing. That's the thing. It's not hunting where you're going to catch something and hold it up and be like, I got this. Or it's not like you're going to catch something because we've already caught stuff. One of the first shows we ever did on our show happened, I think, at the awesome Varnum Armory. It was a stupid voice that came across that got me mad. That's what it was. But I guess what I'm saying is, so it's more of a personal thing, right? Like,
I'm not about
things. It's personal.
Yeah, I don't want to prove anything. I don't want to take pictures. It's all a personal experience for me, and I know, I can't deny that my experience is what I've seen, what I felt, and that I'm just all about that. I mean, I could care less what evidence. I'm not gonna take a picture and zoom it in and say oh, this is a ghost that I zoomed in, see how the pixels hey, come on, that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, because all right, see, that's exactly the way that in my head people should look at this, because you're never gonna find proof, whatever we define the word proof as, because I'm telling you, you could have a dead alien on your table and be like, look at this thing right here. People will call it fake.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, it'll be gone. So will you. And then bada bing, bada boom. You're this crazy quack from around the neighborhood. You guys should drink because I just.
I was grabbing my glass, Mike.
All right. My point is, there is no such like the government. Hey, there's UFOs. Hey, yeah, we don't know what they are. Oh, okay. And people are like, that's fine. Oh, did you see that Tic Tac thing? Oh, they give them such cute names too, right? It's a Tic Tac. Oh, you can't get hurt by a Tic Tac. Those are delicious. They help you out when you need them most. A Tic Tac. Give me a break.
Yeah, I like the orange ones. Those are my favorite.
I love the orange ones.
Everyone loves the orange ones.
Oh, look at the Junior Mint. Look at the Junior Mint. Imagine if they did that. Look at the Junior Mint. I'd be like, oh, man, that's minty. I love that. Look at the York Peppermint Patties. They wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like stuff's already out there. I don't think you can prove it anymore. My humblest opinion. I don't think people out there that are looking to prove shit, that'll never prove anything to the mass media. I think it has to be a personal adventure or a group adventure, but it's still personal.
But everybody's going to even if you have the biggest amount of proof, people are going to be like, nah, I don't see it. It's just everybody is so negative. You go on social media, everything is so negative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm so done with it. I'm like, I don't want to be negative anymore. I want to just enjoy things. I want to enjoy a movie for what it is. It may be garbage, but hey, I'll go see the Fletch movie. I don't care.
Look, the worst thing they ever did was allow comments. Right?
Don't read the
comments. The world would be a better place. Because here's my point. It's like, if I'm walking around Buddy and Buddy goes the Dolphins, they're the best team in the world. I wouldn't turn to Buddy and be like, you effing idiot. You know nothing about I would never talk to somebody like that in person the way they talk to people each other online. So comments shouldn't be there. I think if you say something, you said it. Why do I get the comment on what you said? I should have to make my own post separately. You said it. I don't get to grade or rate what you said, but that's what we do. You say something, people are like, oh, you said it wrong. This is what you should say. And it's like, no, I didn't say it that way because this is the way I wanted to say it.
So don't judge me, but I'm a de facto New Orleans Saints fan.
Ooh, tough break today.
I know.
I mean that in four ways.
I love Patriots. I'm such a New England homer, all the Boston teams. But my son for some reason, he's the biggest New Orleans Saints fan, and he loved Drew Brees. I mean, I was painting pictures of Drew Brees for him. Oh, this is amazing. And
it's a shame though, because the Saints were good for this long, and then there's this much else of their career as a team, and they stunk. And they didn't just stink; they were at one point the worst team ever. What the Saints that could not win a game, like the Saints
in Tampa Bay. Yep.
And they've been also hit with Bountygate. Like their coach got suspended for a year.
It's all.
You know what? It actually makes sense, Aaron, that you like them and the Patriots, because they both.
All right.
They both get arrested. They both have had. They've lost first-round draft picks.
All right. See, I just support. I mean, I could care about the Patriots. I mean, I'm a Brady fan. I've always been a Brady fan.
Oh.
I hate Brady.
Oh, that's difficult.
Buddy, you realize Tom's going to be the quarterback of the Dolphins next year, so I keep that to a minimum.
Yeah, 2 or 6 touchdowns.
Don't feed into that nonsense.
So, it is what it is.
I might trip him if I met him. Somebody would help me trip him. I think we would.
But,
all right, so
my son likes the Saints, so we'll watch the Saints together. They're fine. Football is football. I did like being in the New York Giants locker room while I waited, though. That was cool.
There you go. See, now that's cool. You're with the New York Football Giants. Like that's one of the most prestigious football teams I've ever played.
I grew up in a small town in Rhode Island called Westerly.
Yeah.
And Westerly was the big division. It was half the town is New York fans, half the town is Boston fans.
See?
So in school, it was like my folks were always Boston fans. So it was all Boston growing up. And then you hear about like the Yankees and the Giants and
the Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers. But it was more like it was so divided. It was like Yankees half, Red Sox half. So,
so all right,
on a good day,
you're not going to be paying any Jameis Winston pitches anytime soon, so we can get past that. It's good that you did it.
I do a lot of wrestler pitches though.
All right, now I'm interested.
Again,
now it's not me, Joe.
Wrestling fan, like I've always been a wrestling fan since I was a kid, and then I got back into it in college, and I had friends who wrestled in a small league called PLW in Rhode Island, and
that was the one.
What's that?
Do you remember Vertebreaker? A kid named called the Vertebreaker?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
There it is.
Get out.
He came out to our song, "Smoke in the Water." It's a song that my band played. And we did a cover of "Smoke in the Water." He used to go out with that song, and that's the kid that I was going to run the angle with, and I had the okay to do it, and then the Waves just squashed it. Aaron, I had it all set up. He comes out to our intro music, right? We show up at the show, me and Dave. We act like, hey, he introduced us. We're happy to be there. He loses the match. We go in the ring. We help him up. We're like, he's like, thanks for coming. I'm sorry I lost the match. I grab the microphone, smash him in the face with it. We pound on him and beat him up, get on the mic and tell him that we're not going to let a loser use our song for anything. Drop the mic. We walk out. Tell all the wrestling fans they're a bunch of losers. Go back to their mom's basement, right? Following week, I have a match with the Vertebreaker. Oh, man, we had this whole thing planned. I was like, I can't wait to do this. And my wife was like, no. The minute I even mentioned it, she was like, no. I was like, but no. I'm like, but you're going to hurt yourself. I'm like, oh, she's probably right. I'm going to hurt myself. But
my son wants to get into it. He's like, he's 13 now. Well, he'll be 13 in October. And he's like, the minute I turn 15, I want to do the Spike Dudley, whatever school it is in Fall River.
Met him so many times. Yeah.
And he's like, he had so much passion to it. He plays tackle football now. So he's like, but he's always been such a huge wrestling fan.
It's just still a lot of pain.
He doesn't play with the figures, but he has the game and he manages this and does that. He's got such a mind for it. It's like, it's so much fun to like hear his thoughts.
It almost sounds like it could progress to a point where it gets weird, like me, because I have the newest wrestling game for Xbox S. Mm-hmm. And Buddy's a character, Joey's in the game, right? There's me.
Yeah, my son's got everybody in the game. He's got all his friends.
But we go up against Mike Tyson and Donald Trump. And like we
got Cartman from South Park.
No, I didn't download him. I just wanted people that look somewhat real. So it's like I downloaded all kinds of celebrities and us, and we're two different factions, and we're always going against Snoop Dogg's on the other side. Steve Harvey is on the other side, and we're fighting them all the time. And I make these matches and pay-per-views all the time in my dumb little head just for me to play. So yeah, so watch your son. Make sure he doesn't go to like, if you see him start taking dumb levels like this, let me know. I'll help you out.
Oh, he's already there. I think he's beyond you. Some of the stuff he does.
So
it's
all right,
I mean, it's so much fun. We enjoy wrestling. We just
Let me bring
it doesn't
back
matter.
your
What's
painting before your son. Now, there's paintings that were done prior to your son and then after. I'm willing to bet the ones prior to your son are definitely darker.
I'll tell you what, the darkest paintings I've done were the house that we used to live in when we lived in Holbrook, small little town in Massachusetts, on the border of Braintree and Brockton. The house was built in 1810, and I mean, great bones in the house, but it was just had such a vibe. Across the street was a Civil War era cemetery that had 4 of the previous generations that lived in the house, and there was so much energy in that house. I would have like things I couldn't explain. I mean, I'd go for a walk in the cemetery and I'd be like, what did I just see? What was that? And like, or I'd be like,
explain that to
my
me.
art table, and my cats would like be going bananas.
Explain that. What do you mean? What did I just see? What did you just see?
I'd be walking in the cemetery, and then I'd be like, all of a sudden it felt like I was on a battlefield. I'm like I feel raised, and I feel like I'm looking down, and I see like smoke out of the corner. I'm like, is this a battlefield? And then it's like, and then it's gone.
Wow.
Or
are you drinking?
No.
No, I'm being serious. Well, I meant to know, were you drinking? Were you smoking weed? Were you doing anything?
No. Right. So yeah, things are definitely weird. And we have cats, and we had the cats to get rid of the mice, but the cats, they feel things. They're like, was one time where they're like, they won't go into a certain room. And I'm like, why won't they go in a certain room? They're hissing at like thin air, or they're jumping on me, and just like cats have been like protectors throughout history, and they're known to take like the negativity away if they're like sitting on you or relaxing on you or something. And our cats are they're amazing creatures, and I feel like they are definitely a little more in tune when it comes to like spirits and stuff like that.
See, that's weird. I've owned cats, and I've owned dogs, and cats, they don't need you until they need you. That's what a cat is, right?
See, my cats are amazing. They're just like both of them will be on my lap. They are so like, I don't know if it's me or if it's or what. But anyway, getting back to the house that we lived in, my dark stuff was just so much from that house. Years ago, I did the first time I did Ocean State Paragon, back when they were in Harrisville.
Yep.
I had gotten a reading, and then didn't think anything of it. The guy who gave me the reading was, he's like, I'm feeling good, blah, blah, blah. So he said something about like, it might be an attachment, or it was an attachment, something like that. And then, anyway, the next day, it was almost like I'm at home, like drinking my cup of coffee, looking at the cemetery across the street. And I felt a pull, like a magnet, just pulled me away from the window. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fight it. What's this about? What's going to happen? So I just follow it, and it leads me right to my desk. I sit down, I grab a pencil, I start sketching. That leads into the paint. I start painting, and it was like no time had passed, but it was like 4 hours. And I look at what I did, and I'm like, oh my God, it scared the crap out of me. One of them like practically made me vomit. I just couldn't handle it. And the other one, I wanted to like get rid of them.
Wait, so what made you vomit? Stop again.
The painting. I just got the after I painted, the feeling that I got was just, I want to get away from this painting. I don't like it at all. So I crumbled it up, and I have since like made prints about it. And I'm talking to people about it when I do my conventions. Like, this is my experience, because I'm like, I want to share my experiences with other people. I can't explain this, the force that pulled me, but it was just it was something. It was definitely something I couldn't explain. I was like, this is insane.
Buddy Orbach.
What was the picture of that you were disgusted of? Can you?
Yeah, I think I have it. Hang on, it's somewhere.
Oh, awesome.
Buddy, you know who Auerbach is? From
Red
the
Auerbach?
Celtics. Used to smoke the cigars.
Yeah, Red Auerbach.
That was the joke. Never mind.
I got it, Mike. Don't worry.
Keep up, will you, bud? What are we showing? Are we being shown a picture right now?
Yeah, you're showing a picture of the one that disgusted him, Mike.
Yeah, all right, but isn't it the one that made him throw up?
Yeah.
All right, that doesn't even make sense that we want to look at it, but all right.
Or no, I want to see it.
That was the actual painting. The actual painting that I painted made me sick. I did not like it. But this is the print. It's different. I mean, I've had people like look at this print and be like, "There's definitely a lot of energy. I don't like it." That was the one. I
You kind of see a face almost if you're thinking like that, but
yeah,
I would want that to be going on when I came off the ramp on a wrestling match. That's what I'm thinking.
And then this was the other one.
That's kind of cool.
Nah, I don't like that one.
So,
I mean, like, I like it. I don't like the look of it. Like, it doesn't give me the greatest.
So they were very. I didn't like them.
I feel like I got to patch it up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
They just gave me the willies. I didn't like them. So
really quick though, Aaron. See what I draw. I only draw to make fun of people. It's really honest. So now, when my wife gets all mad and nervous, I call her Beaker on fire. Now, you ever seen Beaker catch on fire? You just have to go me all the way back and forth. This is what I drew.
There it is. That's awesome.
Beaker on fire. So then, see, that's my inspiration. That's literally my only inspiration for drawing. I've been drawing stuff my whole life, but I'm nowhere near on your level, and I have no idea how you. Now my daughter, who's going to Bryant, she her artwork is so incredible, and she does things that like you do that I want to ask. How do you see it in that dimension when you draw it? In other words, when I draw stuff, I have a hard time making the whole 3-dimension or drawing stuff to make it look like it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Make it work. Yeah, my daughter would draw it, and I'll be like, I never thought of drawing it like that.
I couldn't teach it. I couldn't teach. I can teach special needs, but I can't teach art. I just, it kind of comes naturally. I don't really know where it comes from. I just do it. I don't know like shading. I don't know dimensions. I just colors. I'm colorblind, so I can't tell. But it just comes. It just happens. And whether I put it down, I finish it, but then like my brain might come back to it and do some more things.
Now, when you say colorblind, you mean you can't distinguish.
I can't differentiate. I can see colors. I just can't.
Reds, purples,
from
pinks,
like
the same.
Blue and purple, green and red. Yeah, it's
green
tricky.
And red, really different.
Yeah, I know. Like if I'm in school and
green and red,
fire drill, and we have these little posts that say like one's red and one's green. So if we're good, we got all our kids after the fire drill, we hold up the green one, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like holding up the red or the green. I'm hoping it's the green one because we have all our kids.
Aaron, do you have a driver's license?
Yeah.
This is we record this shit, right? Yeah. You're pretty much saying you can't distinguish red from green, my friend. Like, God forbid you're on the road. Here it comes. I see a yellow. Other than that, I don't know.
No, I know where the sign. I know red and green from the stoplights. I know like what.
Yeah, Mike. They have dedicated positions too. It's
Joey,
why they have different positions.
Joey, first of all,
come on.
way too chatty. Second of all, if he's having a problem seeing red and green, you can't judge out the fact that his brain might just be flip-flopping the friggin' signals.
Maybe.
That's the same thing. Dyslexic people have that same problem. I know that for a fact, actually, that they see things.
Skin color is hard. I don't do a lot of like colors, and when I do people, I like to do people in black and white. I don't really like to put like colors, so skin pigments, all that stuff. It's hard for me. Like I did like that. It's like I did like a bunch of Tom Brady commissions like early when I first started because everybody wanted to do a Tom Brady commission. And oh man, he looked so jaundiced. It was awful. It was like orange. And but that's why I have my wife. She can, she does great at like judging my art. She's like, yeah, Aaron, no, that's too orange. Or
how long did you waste time? I mean, I'm sorry. How long did you spend time painting Tom Brady paintings?
I did a few. I did like a handful, and then I did some Brady charity. Like there was the one somebody asked me, said, "Can you do like Boston, like the Mount Rushmore of Boston sports for a charity event?" And it was Tom Brady, Big Papi,
All right.
Paul Pierce, and Bergeron. There you go.
Who put this together? Wait a minute. Time out. Who in God's name put together this Mount Rushmore? That's absolutely ridiculous. Stop.
It was like it was current.
Tom Brady. All right. You said Big Papi.
Current.
I'm already off on you. But dude, then you go Paul Pierce. Dude, he's not even at the bottom of Mount Rushmore. They won't even let him in the park. They'd be like, "No, Paul, go find Antoine Walker and go to like Kentucky or someplace. Get out of here." They would never work.
It was like current. It was current heroes in Boston sports.
Buddy, did you feel that though? Did it hurt your chest hearing Paul Pierce's name being on any kind of Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, over Larry Bird, man. Yeah, kind of.
Well, look, it was a current. It was current. I wanted to say current.
We'll give you that.
My people.
Big Papi. I would go Ted Williams if I go.
Let me drop this on you real quick. So Mondays we start our second paranormal show. We're doing legit paranormal vacation planners, and our goal is to find different locations and hotels that are haunted or have had like gruesome murders. That's what we're looking for.
Of them, I'm sure.
I love those. I love to paint those. Sketch them. They're so much fun.
Joining us is going to be one of the co-hosts on the show. Get for C Beanie. What's up, C? How you doing?
Hey,
How
Aaron.
you feeling?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
I'm not bad.
So do you have any questions for Aaron off the bat? Just off the bat. Not to put you on the spot, but that's what I would do. Put you on the spot.
I don't know if I've already asked you this question in person, but what really got you into the paranormal?
I'd have to say the conventions I've done. Like the first one I told these guys was a UFO convention, and they had all sorts of. I mean, I've always loved like horror movies and stuff like that, and just going to this convention and hearing everybody's perspective was like mind blowing. It just opened me to all sorts of different possibilities, and ever since then, I just
And you know what, Aaron, you seem to get along with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a rarity. No, I'm being dead serious, because the only thing about you is that you blend in. So you walk up on me with my bad vision at the parlor, and you're like, "Hey," I'm like, no offense, but see like how Buddy's very distinguishable. Like I could pick Buddy out of like 400 people. No, it would never be a problem. Yeah. Joey, I don't know. Joey could blend in. I may never see him again, right?
But that hat, it's the hat.
The hat. Yeah, it was. I was like, and you're looking at me, and I'm like, I was like, oh, fucking A. That's just how my reaction was. But yeah, maybe you need like a signature look. You ever think about growing like the handlebar mustache, stuff like that? Like would have. No, I'm being honest.
Maybe I could shave my eyebrows.
Oh,
no.
I don't know if that's ever looked good on anyone. Is there anyone that looks good in that without no eyebrows? No.
No.
Oh. All right. So all right, moving on. Aaron, let's ask this. When you do paintings, right? What do you look for inspiration? Like set me up. Like you just have the canvas and you walk in there and you're like, I'm gonna do something, and you start.
Well, I mean,
something or what?
I watch TV. I watch shows on TV. I like, like I could be looking at a beach or I could be looking at nature, and then my mind goes dark. Like we have a lot of in my neighborhood. We have a lot of ravens. We have a lot of crows, and I'll like get the inspiration to like draw a raven, and then just like do it a different way, or just I don't know. It felt kind of just like stream of consciousness kind of. I really don't know. I have some ideas of how I want to paint things, but you know what? To be honest, I haven't painted in like a long time because I have like this carpal tunnel issue in my right hand. So I've been doing a lot of stuff digitally. I've been sketching a lot because it's easier when I draw buildings and stuff like that for these keys that I'm working on. It's easier to draw straight lines. So when I draw these straight lines, it doesn't hurt my hand as much. And then I put it on my tablet. And then from there, I have a program where I can like finger paint. And I'll just like fill in the painting with like my fingers, the different colors.
Right. Wait, so two things. One, does it feel like you're drinking Pepsi instead of Coke when you're painting on a computer instead of actually painting? And two, so I'm still trying to get over when you get the inspiration. Does it ever come from? And by the way, artists are the toughest people to ask questions to. You ask an artist something, they really can't give you an answer because they just don't even know. It's one of those things where they actually will say to you, well, yeah, I have this thing where I don't know. Right, Aaron? That's kind of what you have. It's like I'm asking you a question. You're like, yeah, I know, but it's just this thing that I do. So I guess when you do this thing that you just do, does it happen when you're in front of the canvas? Or is it something that you're walking around carrying groceries and, oh, shit, I got to go paint this?
Yeah, I'll get ideas and I'll like take pictures or, use that for inspiration.
Anything.
Yeah, just kind of anything. Like it could be in the middle of my school day and I'd be like, oh, yeah, wow, I think this would be great. So I'm like writing it down, putting it on my phone so I can come back to her later.
Joe, you're giving a module. You got any questions?
Yes. So is there a piece of work that you've done that you may not consider your best piece of work, but something that means a lot to you, that's very important to you, that you enjoy more than anything else that you've done? Got him.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't like being on the Cape and the beaches and stuff like that. I don't like painting lighthouses and beaches.
Oh, I totally agree. That niche has been filled by.
I'm in this like boutique kind of place where it's like an artist collaborative. We go in there. It used to be like I have 100 artists in there, and then now it's got like people who come in and they'll have like the weekend where they'll vend their stuff. So it's become it's like it's not a store as much as like a vendor event. Like
everything sucks more. Yeah, everything sucks more nowadays, pretty much.
So anyway, yeah, and I put all my beach stuff in there, seagulls and beaches and lighthouses, and they eat it up. They love it. I'm like, you know what?
Import.
I see this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna twist it a little bit and see what I get, see what kind of reaction I get. So the dark house was the lighthouse was very dark. Or I had a swing. And the swing, didn't have anybody on it, and it was all black and white, very moody. And then, like, it started. People were like, "Hey, that's awesome!" And then they were buying that. And then I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna put some of my skulls in there, see what people think." Like paintings of skulls.
Some of my skulls, as you do.
Somebody buys the skulls. I'm like, okay. So,
all right.
Yeah.
C. Beanie, question.
I was gonna ask how long you've been doing this for.
My whole life.
Oh, that's really nice.
No school. I am just self-taught, so that's why I can't really teach anybody how to do it. I mean, I can show somebody my way, but that's just my way. You can get, but
great way of hiding your age too, right there.
Wow.
Forever. My whole life. How long have you been doing this? Forever.
47 years. I'll be 40.
There it is.
I'll be 47 in September 21st.
You don't look it at all.
What month? What month?
The 21st of this month. I'll be 47.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
September 21st?
Yes.
That's my birthday.
No.
Oh.
That's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday to the both of you.
Wow. See that,
Aaron,
that
it's what, Tuesday night, right? It's Tuesday night, right? It's Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Let's go get drunk.
Here we go.
I'm serious. It is my birthday, September 21st. I know a couple people with my birthday, and they were all whack jobs. No offense. I'm starting to figure this all out now. It's all starting to make sense about your paintings. You got a lot of problems in your head, like I do. Buddy, what do you got?
Oh my God, I've been sitting on this for a while. So
you should probably get off it then, bro.
I'm going to get off of it. So being the paranormal investigator in the room, other than Joe,
thanks, buddy.
I heard you talk about when you lived in Holbrook and there was a cemetery across the street and you were drawn to that cemetery and it was a Civil War cemetery. And that you had a vision of being in a Civil War battle. That's a not uncommon phenomenon. That's happened to people in Gettysburg. I've read stories about before. Did you do any research as far as the guys who were buried there? Were they actually soldiers? What battles they made that in?
Yeah.
How the connection could have been made?
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of like Virginia stuff. Looking at the headstones and seeing that, and then like everything is hard because Holbrook used to be East Randolph back way back when. Holbrook was incorporated in like 1890 something or other. But there was a lot of like stuff I'd see on the headstones that would say like what battle they were in and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It was really cool. And then you see like you see all the people who used to live in my house. I was like, oh my gosh. And their families. It was pretty insane. I had this one experience. I saw this one grave and like I think whatever it was, so they had like flowers, but they're all knocked over, like the vase was broken. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't, I thought of it. I'm like, oh man, that's too bad. But anyway, like I'm going to like bed that night. And then like I closed my eyes and all of a sudden I had this vision of this little girl and she's pointing like off the screen. She's going like that. And I'm like, I can't see what she's pointing at, but there's the silhouette of a little girl pointing off the screen. I'm like, what's she pointing at? And then I'm like, it was probably from spending all that time in the cemetery. Maybe it was somebody trying to give me a message. I don't know. So I went back to the cemetery and then sure enough, that grave with the broken flower, was like a 10-year-old girl. Oh, wow. And I'm like, I just fixed the flower. I put it set it back up again, nice and neat for him. I'm like, maybe that was it. I don't know.
That's
but
incredible.
Definitely wild.
So, all right, chicken before the egg. I guess what I'm saying is when you started to go to the paranormal events, the things start to open up for you there.
Yeah. And the people I met, of course, all the people I met, it was it's definitely amazing. And stuff stays with you. Stuff like
now. Why do you think being around other people that are more open opened you up? Like, what do you think is about being at those events? Because again, this is I always say I feel like those events are more like church-like in the sense that they're more like personal. Like you want to talk about personal events that happen to you to someone else, and they're going to tell you their personal events. Like that's what's great about it. Mm-hmm. So like, did you start having paranormal events, and then you went on to do the paranormal conventions, or did it start once the paranormal conventions happened?
It started after the paranormal conventions, but I think I also opened myself up in the process of all of that, like learning all these different possibilities, and the possibilities are endless. It's like we're just a speck in the universe, just infinite. And it's just you have to be open. I mean, you can't be closed-minded, especially in this society that we live in. You have to be able to like accept being wrong.
That's something people don't do.
I don't know. I used to be like that. I used to be so negative. My folks were like, my mom was so negative. So everything was like worst case scenario growing up. Everything was always the worst case scenario. And I still I carried that along for the longest time. And I'm like, it still comes back every now and then, like, oh, this is the worst case. My mind always goes to the worst case scenario, but it's like I can't be negative all the time. It's like
no, it's gonna give you a heart attack.
You miss the world. The world passes you by. You can't enjoy it as much.
So I would 100% agree. I think the toughest thing with doing this show is that I've always got to keep a very in the middle opinion on stuff. So I can't really get into like the whole. I just can't get into it, like believing in stuff or getting into stories with people. I want to, but it'll just take me away from being what I do. So, but I get to hear people tell me stories, man, and it's like, it's so real to them, and it's so personal, and it's like whether I think that person is telling me the truth to them, or something completely made up, it doesn't matter. It's like if they 100% believe it, then why is that not true? It doesn't matter if I saw it. Who fuck mine? If they said it happened and it happened just them, I always just believe the person. But obviously, if it's some really wacky shit, I keep them at arm's length. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, here's a funny something that happened to me when I was in college. This is like way before I even, got into like the paranormal and being open.
This is back when we used to have real books you used to have to buy for college.
Yeah,
exactly. A highlighter. I remember those days.
This was like 93 to 98.
Oh, grunge.
I went to Rhode Island College.
You're wearing flannel.
Yes.
By the way, I was at Rhode Island College in 1993. I was.
You have to stop all these similarities.
No, I mean, seriously, we went to school together.
We did. Go Anchorman, right?
Then I get a degree at CCRI in arts, and I've never drawn a thing in my life. Go figure.
So when I was in school, I ran into my doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy standing at the other end. Like I was walking to like student union, and off in the distance, I see a person who looks just like me, but not me. He looked like me.
Hope so.
If like in high school, he looked like me in high school. I had long hair in high school. And there was the same sort of shirt and shorts I wore in high school. I'm like, that's me.
So if they made Aaron,
it was so weird.
Figures.
I didn't approach him. I didn't look at him. I don't know what was going to happen. Space, some sort of paradox. I don't want any.
You didn't talk
like. I didn't engage. I just looked at him. I knew it was, but it was like a bond. It was some kind of weird bond I felt with that person way over there. I had no idea who he was. He looked just like I did if I were still in high school. I was like, wow.
And you didn't talk to him?
No, I was afraid to. I didn't want any kind of weird things to happen because I've heard stories. I don't know. No thanks.
What? Dude, if you see somebody who looks like you, go find out who that person is.
It could have been me. I don't know.
It could have been you.
It could have been me.
Buddy, help me.
It could have been an alternate version of me.
It could have been a cousin. It could have been.
Buddy, I went once to an apartment complex, and I saw the name Mike Lepre on the wall, and I rung the guy's doorbell until he let me in. And I'm knocking on the guy's door, and he's going, "Who is it?" I'm going, "It's Mike Lepre." He's going, "Stop joking." I'm going, "No, I'm being serious, guy. Open the door." He comes out, and it's like this Italian mailman. We come to find out that like our grandfathers were brothers or whatnot. And he's like, "Oh," right. Just like I thought.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I went and go find him, Aaron. If I found somebody who looks like me, God forbid that poor person.
No, I was afraid.
I would have run for that person.
I was afraid.
Buddy, would you?
Like Bigfoot, just run right after it, right?
Right?
And get the truth. Yeah, absolutely.
See, Beanie, you find somebody who looks just like you. Do you go talk to them?
Yeah, I would.
What's the first question you ask them?
That's hard.
Joey?
Who's your mother?
No, it would have to be some kind of like
me. He was like he looked like I did in high school. Like I didn't.
Look, if action figures were made of you, he was a version of you. He was like
a
Aaron
version of me, right? That's the same kind of shirt and shorts I had in high school. The same kind of hair I had in high school. I didn't have that like currently, but I was like, what? That is insane.
I think the only reason you didn't go up and talk to this kid is because you knew that if you did, he would have been like, "Who the f are you? Like, what the f are you talking about?" He would have been freaked out. Like, "Dude, you look just like me, only younger. Oh my God, dude, you look just like me when I was in high school. Long hair, what you're wearing."
Then I probably would have been hit by a bus, man.
You look crazy if you did that.
No thanks.
Well, that's how I would do it. So of course I would look crazy doing it, but that's just what I would do. Joey, you got a question over there in your Joey land?
No, I think I could defer to Buddy on this one.
Oh, deferring over to Buddy.
Oh Jesus! I don't have a question either. I'm going to defer to Cece.
Beanie, up. Got a question?
So what is the most haunted location that you actually enjoyed?
I love the USS Salem. That's gonna be my favorite. The few times that I've been there, I've had all sorts of like interesting things happen, and not only just me. I was down in the museum part where they have all the relics and stuff like that, all the uniforms. And
okay, yeah.
I went with 3 other people, and we all saw shadow figures just walking around. Nobody else was down there. It was just amazing to all of us see the same thing, the shadow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a whole bunch of stuff there.
So much fun.
My favorite room was the control room, where they get the drawing boards and the
anchor's room.
The room where there was all the different. You could see out the windows, right? Remember? And it was like we walked in there and time just died. It was awesome.
Oh, it was just silent.
Yeah.
I know what you meant.
You're living in a vacuum, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, moving forward, what is the goal moving forward with your art? Like, in other words, because you've already taken a step back, no offense, by going digital in my book. You got the injury. So now you're doing things digitally. Is that going to continue? You coming back to art?
Oh, it's just a dimension. It's just a different avenue. Okay. I mean, I always have my watercolors, and I want to get back into that, but it's just I'm afraid that I want to hurt my hand again. So I guess I kind of got that, in the back of my head, and it's
you can't be afraid of that.
To sketch the things. I mean, I'm still putting forth a hell of a lot of effort sketching these things, and
I just hate computers, man.
And I put them, and they're easier. They're easier for me to come up with, and I put them on Etsy, and people like them, people buy them, and I don't know. It's just a different
what it is?
way to go.
When you're an artist, it's really hard to really sell your art and keep it the way you want to keep it. Like, in other words, usually to sell it, you got to kind of sell out. You got to do what the people want. As
people
opposed to what
who
you want
ask for commissions, a lot of times nowadays will be like, I want a picture of like Tom Brady, right? Like we talked about before. And I want you to put your spin on it. You know what I mean?
I'll put a spin on it.
No, but like I want you to draw a picture of this, but I want you to do it your way, which is like that's all I want. I mean, you have enough confidence in me to do it. You're gonna buy it the way I like it, not like people like, oh, I want you to paint my cat, but I want this to be this and that to be that, and you to do it this way and color, blah blah blah. I'm like, that's hard for me to do. But now people see my art, people trust me, and they're like, do it your way. Which is
you can't. I mean, you can't give an artist like a million requests on something because that takes away the whole point of what he does, right? Or what she does. There's art. You just give him an idea and you let him run with it. Kind of like me giving Buddy the idea for Legit Paranormal Brew, which we could easily make into a beer that we could sell at a couple of bars. But he doesn't.
What would it taste like? What would your beer taste like?
Beer.
I'm saying double IPA. I want. If we're gonna do something strong, I want.
Like,
shame and regret.
Would you have like a Christmas one? With
give me one. Hold on one second. Beer. It would taste like beer. There'd be no fruit, vegetables, chocolate. When you drank it, you'd go, "Oh, that's a good beer." Hold on.
So, Mike, some of the best IPAs are actually brewed with different types of like malts and fruits and all other things, correct? Just because it is beer doesn't mean it doesn't have some kind of fruit in it or some kind of mix.
It's beer, Joe. Beer. When I drink it, I taste beer. I don't go to buy beer, so it tastes like Reese's peanut butter cups.
It has to have like a hint of oak in it.
Excuse me while I drink my cider donut. Cider.
I don't get it. I've never gotten it. This flavored beer crap. I don't get it. It's beer. Why are you flavoring beer? It makes no sense.
Because it tastes good.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's crafted. So anyways, it would taste like beer. That's all I could say. It would just taste like beer. There would be nothing else. Do you want to go What else is that? You would never do that. It would just taste like beer. Are we all on the same page?
Nope.
All right. Of course we're not, Joe, but that doesn't matter because you won't be there anyways.
Hey,
You won't show up when we do it.
It's
All right.
okay. I won't either.
Thanks a lot, Beanie. Way to go. Good.
I'm sorry. I don't like beer.
Oh,
Well, that's all right.
we're not going to make anything else.
I'll drink yours.
A wine cooler. That doesn't happen. That would never happen. I would never make a wine cooler in my life. Anyways, Aaron, so what are you coming up? Like, are you going to events? Like, what are you going on as far as?
Yeah, I'm doing a local event for my hometown coming up this coming Saturday. It's in Onset, and it's like their local Harvest Moon Festival.
That's awesome.
And they have like hundreds of antique cars and fireworks and stilt walkers, and yeah, it'll be fun. And plus, it's my hometown. It's in the town I live in.
I'd like to get in on that, buddy. Why can't we get a table in like that?
I don't know, Mike. We just kind of like
and then
say, hey, we want a vendor table and pay for it and go.
And then next month is the Warren's Paracon, which I'm super excited about.
It's at
Mohegan Sun Casino.
Nice.
It's gonna be a blast. I can't wait for that.
Maybe I'll go to that.
Okay.
Last year was super fun.
That'll be fun. And it's in the casino. So, I mean, it was packed at the hotel they were at last year. Now they...
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people.
I say if you're listening, go to it. You know?
So,
Joey doesn't look like he's going to it right now. Joey doesn't look like he's going to anything right now. Joey looks angry.
I just realized I'm standing in the New York Giants locker room and I'm about to leave this in protest.
I've been letting that go the whole goddamn
No, it's only
show.
been like 20 minutes because it was something different a little while ago.
No
way. I would have noticed it.
Yeah, well, you know what's great about the show, Joe, is we videoed it. It's recorded.
Hey, buddy, all I want to say though is you just know, buddy, that the New York Giants logo is directly above your head, so you're affected by this too.
Buddy doesn't care. Buddy's not afraid. I'll promote the Dolphins. Well, like we don't care. We're just happy you're not winning. How about that, Joe?
Yeah,
That's what we're happy about.
That's fine with me. At some point, they were going to tumble, so
yeah.
I'm just here for the ride now.
Yeah. All right. Aaron. So, other than these new events get coming up, again, I guess my biggest question is Endgame. Give me like Aaron in like 3 years. What's he doing in 3 years?
He's doing the same thing.
Just so you don't mind just grinding it out. That's cool for you.
No, if opportunity presents itself, and it's something that I dig, then I'll do it. But I just like doing what I do. I don't want to be like, I don't want the pressure of doing particular things, deadlines and stuff like that. I mean, if there's money involved, I mean, that's a different story. But I mean, this is like my part-time gig. This is something that is a release for me,
Time. Yeah.
I mean, I can't not sketch and paint after a long day at school. I have to release all that stress that builds up because
that's better than hard drugs.
A lot.
Yeah. It is. Buddy, last words?
Yeah, if you're not tired from watching the Giants and the Dolphins win and
that's right. You freeze after you
join us.
Right there.
Join us for one-time paranormal investigator. He's on the convention trail, if you will. He's been seen at events like the Gettysburg Bash. He's a longtime author and a radio host as well as a podcast. Ted Van Son will be joining us. He does ghosts mostly, and he does like the UFO scene and the Bigfoot scene. So we can incorporate all in our conversation next week.
Joey?
First, courteously, Aaron, it was great to have you on. Appreciate the conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Your artwork is fantastic. And do you have a website that you sell any of your artwork on, or is it just through?
I do.
Okay, what's the website, or is it on your Facebook, or?
Yeah, it's my last name, the word one, and so it's Wujcik1 at no, not Wujcik1, Wujcik1 .weebly.com. So Weebly is the.
You were always last in line to go outside when they went alphabetically, Aaron, huh?
Listen,
God damn, alphabetical again. I'm in the back.
I still have an AOL as that's my email. AOL.
Really?
Listen,
I didn't even think it existed.
Be nice to your guests.
I'm always nice to my guests.
And I also want to say,
CB, what would you like to say to wrap up the show? Now, we also want to talk about the show on Monday. Legit Paranormal Vacation Planner. I don't know what we got planned, but I know we get some great locations we're going to talk about, discuss, and sell. What do you got to say? Any last words?
I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, dude. Like you do a great job with your work. I've seen it personally myself, and I think you do an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
And I hope your hand gets better. Really, like you have a talent.
Thank you.
Without a doubt. So that's it. Everybody said what they had to say. Aaron, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Mike.
What is your last name again? Where do we reach you exactly?
What's that? Where do you go?
Was your last name?
Yeah, Wujcik1.weebly.com.
Okay. Joe, you have anything important you wanted to say? Or are you just going to make fun of me in football?
I was going to say go Pats.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Wujcik1. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold that thought. Pause for station identification.
What are you doing? That's his thing?
Oh, that's
my thing.
All right, good. You got it. All right, we're good. We're in. All right.
Well, see, I'm trying to change it, like rebrand it, because Facebook's being they suck. They're like telling me that I can't change my name. It's because it's the name I want to change it to is not like this name, so they won't let me change it.
I'd be like, I tell them, Facebook, listen, I can legally change my name in the eyes of the government, so
they've asked me.
I don't know.
They've asked me on
Facebook's always like they're taking followers away from me. I don't know. I had like a whole bunch, then all of a sudden the next day there's like 2,000 missing. I'm like, what the?
Aaron, I've had them email me and request like proof of name or name change. Because in Facebook, I've always been King Mike L since like whatever it started. So they're like, this can't be your name. Do you have any proof of it? And it's like, I'm an Italian. I'm like, I got your proof right here. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, no. I'm like that
guys,
too.
Drink.
Like, my email is like I got a funky email. It's not my name. It has nothing to do with my name. It's just funky, and people are like, what? Like, yeah, that's it.
Aaron, you're one of the better people to see on the scene. We're doing a show on October 27th at the Parlor. It's just going to be scary stories. I would love it if you came for that. Also, it's fun to hang out with you. This time, I'll know who you are.
October 27th, you say?
Yeah. Yes, it is. So let me wrap this up.
Calendar, Mike.
What's that?
I'll put that on my calendar.
Okay, then. He made it sound like he's out to whack me. Guys, for Joey Paranormal, for CBeanie, for Buddy Money there, for Aaron Wujcik, it's me, Mike Lippy, King Mike L. This was Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. We'll see you again soon, next Sunday. Also, see you again tomorrow. Buddies, it's 7 or 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock, I thought, Mike.
There it is. 8 o'clock. Legit Paranormal.
Oh, you do have Kane. Oh, that's fantastic.